Today I'm going to be doing a review on the TomTom Rider. This is the version 5. So far I've put around 5,500 miles through this, so I feel like I'm in a bit of a position now to give my thoughts on it, what I like, what I don't like, what I feel the pros are, what I feel the cons are, and generally just my overall thoughts. I'm currently on the way to Carsington Reservoir from Derby, so I thought this was the perfect opportunity to actually give it a little review, seeing as you should be able to see it actually on the screen. I'll put a couple of pictures on as well. Firstly, it's a TomTom. That's it, through and through. There's not much special about this compared to other TomToms. If anything, it's got a couple of extra features within the software, but nothing within the hardware. The reason I had to have a TomTom is because I am also a freelance press photographer, and through the weekend I may have to go to 5, 6, sometimes even 7 different destinations that I haven't got a clue where they are, all the way through Derbyshire. So the only option I had was a TomTom. Originally I was using Google Maps on my phone. I had a little pouch connected to here with my phone on, and then I couldn't actually receive that through my helmet Bluetooth, so I had to have a wire coming from my phone into my helmet. Not because I needed it, just because it just aided sometimes, so you don't always have to look at the TomTom, especially if you're pretty naff at directions like me. So after all the reviews, everything on YouTube, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to bite the bullet and go and get one. Picked it up. I can't remember the price exact off the top of my head. I think it was just over £300. That's with the RAM mount as well. Because I'm on a scooter, the actual mount that comes with it, it's designed for a just under an inch or an inch bar, so that thick, and you can have it on the centre anywhere that you want. But where I wanted it, I initially wanted it on my left reservoir, but one of my screws is being an arse, so I had to put it on my right. I bought the TomTom, the RAM mount for my front right brake reservoir tank. Seconds to install, take a couple of screws out, put this on top. Hello, Mr. Scooterman. Okay, no nod back. Right, yeah, so installed them. I put this plate on, then there's a small arm in between, and then I put the TomTom in. I can position it where I want. It took a while to find out the exact position that I wanted, but there we go. I can see it very easily in the daylight. Bright sunlight hitting it, you're going to have a bit of an issue, and that's when the sun's at its highest. Apart from that, you can pretty much see it in all light. The brightness in the daylight, it's not bad, it does the job. In the night time, it is very bright, so in the evening, when it switches over to night mode, I have it so the brightness is on as low as I can have it. Obviously I don't want it blinding me. If any of you have used a TomTom before, it's exactly the same. You have the same issues with TomTom, hunting around for the satellites every now and then. Sometimes it takes a few minutes to get it going. That's nothing new with TomTom or any other Sat-Nav. Sometimes it can be a pain in the arse. Same with the software inside and the map software. If you don't keep it up to date, in fact, all Sat-Navs can be a pain in the arse, not just TomTom. The thing with this that I liked is there are a couple of features. One, you can record your journeys. So say for example I just wanted to go on a cruise, or like today I'm just going up to Carsington Water. If I was just randomly riding up there, no sat-nav, and I just want to record the journey and then go back on a future date, I can record the journey and then upload it onto the TomTom Rider website, or TomTom's website, into their itinerary. Then other riders can actually download my journey. Same for if I wanted to go on a different journey that I've not been on before. I can go onto the TomTom site, put my TomTom in there, download a journey that another rider has done, maybe something that's got windy roads or that they feel was a nice ride. I can put it into my TomTom and off I go. That for me I thought was brilliant, which is obviously directed at bikers rather than those just in a car. Bear with me, it's talking to me. Another feature for bikes that I thought was brilliant, you've got a windy road feature. I've got currently set up on no motorways because I can't go on a motorway on a provisional licence. So generally I'm on A roads anyway, which tend to be more of the windy roads, but for those that have a full licence that don't want to take the motorway, you can, bear with me, you can click, rather than just plan a route how you would on a normal TomTom, you can click windy route. So when you pick the windy route, you pick your destination, the TomTom will try and figure out all the best windy roads at national speed limits, so you can actually enjoy your bike. You can enjoy the journey more than just how I am now. That was brilliant. It works very well. Generally it adds quite a bit of time onto your journey, but if you're going for a ride for an hour, you'd rather have a windy hour than just a plain sitting on an A road like this. That works absolutely brilliant. The Bluetooth in it, I've got it currently connected to an interphone. I think it's called an FX3 or F3X. The Bluetooth works brilliant, flawlessly. You turn the TomTom on, turn your headset on, press pair on both, pair them up, and then every time you turn it on after that, as long as they both turn on, they automatically pair. The same goes for your phone. The phone functions on it work very well. You've got a recent call, well, not recent call through your phone, but you've got recent calls that you've made through your TomTom. You can import your phone book, so you can constantly update your phone book, and general core features that you get through a Sat-Nav system. One downside, which I have found sometimes for me, and I suppose a few others may have found it, I'm not always on a bike. Sometimes I'm in a car, sometimes I'm in wherever I am, and I want to use my TomTom, but I actually want to be able to hear it. There is no speaker. It is designed for bikes, it's designed for bikers, it's designed to work through Bluetooth headsets, so there is no speakers. In a way, this is a pro and it's a con. For those that want to use it for different situations in different vehicles that do require voice guidance, it might be a bit of a hindrance. Then again, while it's on the bike, it's more weatherproof. You're less likely to get any rain into it. I currently don't have the power set up on this bike because I am just saving up for an XVS at the moment, but then I will have the power installed. When you do install the power, it automatically turns on and turns off. You can actually buy a locking kit for it so that no one can just come in and take it off or take your power out, etc. What else to mention? The buttons. I'm going to show you quickly now. There you go, that's the main menu that you get. You've got the change route, plan windy route, and manage itineraries. Itineraries is what I mentioned earlier about taking other people's journeys or recorded journeys yourself. The one thing I don't really like about it, which could have been a bit better design, is if the touchscreen was a little bit further forward, the buttons on the bottom left, here and here, you only have the back button, the select button, or the find button when you're looking for people's names in your phone book. It's not that it's a little small, it's just the fact that it's so far into the bottom left hand side of the screen that sometimes you struggle to touch it with your glove, which can be a pain in the arse sometimes, so you have to be a little bit patient, especially when you're riding. I know you shouldn't really touch it while you're riding, but obviously the convenience is there. If you feel it's safe to do so, go ahead, but it can be a little bit awkward to press it. So anyway, those are just my initial thoughts of it. Apart from that, it works like any other Sat-Nav. It works like your phone, like the TomTom or the Garmin. It just does what it does. New features that are coming into a lot of Sat-Navs, not just including this one, are when you're on motorways or on A roads, if you're coming up to a junction, you'll actually have a picture come onto the screen. The screen isn't big enough to display the picture of what lane you should be in, as well as display the map. So it takes over the screen. Sometimes, oh, bear with me. Yeah, although this does take over the map, sometimes if you're coming onto a small island and going onto another island, it can be a bit of a pain, but it's something you get used to. I'm not sure if it's just this TomTom or if it's like it on other TomToms that have got smaller screens. But yeah, the TomTom works well. The speedo works well, the clock, the directions, the voice navigation, it's almost in time. Sometimes it does. I think it might actually do it a little bit earlier. Maybe the software that's designed for bikes that reads out the instructions a little bit earlier, because I found that on other TomToms in a car, sometimes it reads it out just a little bit too late if it's not updating quick enough. Right then, the cons. Again, I've already mentioned the speaker. For some people that may be a con, other people may just not care at all. Wow, I didn't realise how much traffic there was going to be at this time. So yeah, some people may not really care at all. It's massive. Compared to all other TomToms, it is huge, and it's bulky, and it's heavy. Again, that is a pro, and it's a con. It may be a con for some people. Someone may want something a little bit smaller. If you're on something like an R6 or any other type of sports bike, where you're wanting something small, a little bit more discreet, this may not be the one for you. But I have crashed in this. It's taken a bit of a bang, and nothing's wrong with it. It works just fine. I'll let this car in. So yeah, so the bulk does add to the resistance of damage. So I think something else to say about it. There isn't really any cons to it. It's a TomTom. It's a Sat-Nav. It takes you from A to B. Favourites. The favourites list. I tend to when I'm doing a press job on a weekend, I tend to add all my jobs in through my favourites list. I've also got all my own favourites in there as well, where you can put any destination in, coordinates, the same as you can with all of the TomToms. The one thing that I wish it did have was possibly a longer list, so you could actually store more names, more destinations. Sometimes I find I'm running out, then I have to delete destinations to put others in, or just make do with what I've got. But again, that's not. I think that's just a personal thing. I'm not sure if there's anyone else out there that's going to turn around and say, "Oh, I'm not going to get a TomTom because I can't have enough favourites in there." All TomToms are limited. All Sat-Navs are limited because they've only got a limited memory inside. Right, I think one of the biggest things that I was looking at when I was trying to find YouTube and the information about it, which there isn't really much, is the battery life. TomTom, I think TomTom rated for something like 6 hours. Do you get 6 hours of use? No. When do you ever get a device that you get the amount of hours that the company state? Depending on the weather, depending on how warm it is, how cold it is, all the usual guff, that all goes into how long your battery's going to last. I've had it last 4 or 5 hours with constant use, and then I've had to put it on charge. I've had it last an hour. It all depends on the weather, how much you're using it, whether it's speaking a lot. Like if you're using it on country roads or if you're using it on long journeys, it tends to last longer than it does if you're using it around a city centre, because it's not having to transmit as much information to your helmet as well as come up with all the directions on the screen. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Do I think it's worth the price? Not at all. I don't think any sat-nav system is going to be worth £300-400, especially when you start to buy mounts and your kit for your helmet, so you can actually hear it, because you won't really want to use this without a Bluetooth kit in your helmet. So no, I don't think it's worth the price. But if it's something you need, then you can justify the cost. I needed this. I couldn't do my job without this. What's that phone doing? Yeah, I couldn't do my job without this. Sorry, I was just listening to the sexy Irish lady's voice. Yeah, you get lots of voices on this. They are very clear and well spoken. Sometimes I'd like it if they give a little bit more direction, especially if I'm going to a new city and I can't exactly tell what lane I'm supposed to be in, or that just may be my stupidity as a road user. But sometimes lanes aren't marked, and on A roads you do get a picture that comes up which tells you which lane to be in, which exit you're going to be taking. I'm hoping one's going to come up at some point between now and Carsington, so I can actually get a little picture for you. But sometimes I wish they did it a little bit more. I've seen it on other sat-nav systems, especially Garmin's, that do it a lot more. But again, that might just be TomTom versus Garmin, the way that their software works. But overall, this thing is built like a tank. It can take a hit. It's fully waterproof. I've used this in full-on torrential rain and never had a hiccup with it. Like I say, I've crashed in it, still works just fine. It works fine with all the gloves that I've got, whether it's wet, whether it's icy, it just works. So I'll say, yeah, if you do need a sat-nav, and it is something that you have been looking at, or you're still questioning or trying to justify the cost, I think if you're trying to justify the cost for a sat-nav, it's just something that you want. It might not be worth it, but for me, I earn with my sat-nav. I can't earn without my sat-nav. I'm not the greatest person at directions. When I'm on a press job, I get random jobs that have come through for streets I've never even heard of. So this is something that is a must for me. The one thing that I wish that TomTom did, it's not down to this unit, but I wish that they did, is a better search. Like on Google Maps, you can search for businesses, you can search for particular buildings, just general areas rather than streets. I wish the TomTom had something like that in, because it would make my job a lot easier and the functionality of the TomTom a lot better in my opinion. Not just this one, like I said, but that's the software overall. When you buy the TomTom version 5, I think that all the products that it comes with come with a free lifetime maps. This has got it, and it constantly, every week, I plug it into my computer and update it, and it updates all the local maps, all the European maps. Another good feature that it's got is map share. Not only can you download other people's journeys, but say for example there's a road called, I don't know, Road 123, and biker A goes down Road 123. That road's closed, not just closed for a little bit of maintenance, but that road is fully closed down and might not be opening for months. He puts in onto his TomTom, notes that the road is closed, that he's had to take a different journey. Then you've got biker B, does the same thing. Biker C, there'll be quite a few people doing it. Once it's uploaded online, TomTom check out the information and they put it on the map share system. So when you update your TomTom, you can opt in or opt out for this map share. If you opt in for it, it'll update it on your TomTom, so when you do go to put the route in, the TomTom will try and avoid that road as much as possible until that road is clear again. Once the road is clear again, and you say for example you do get to the road and it is clear and you update it, the road will become available again. Apart from that, I can't think of any more information that I need to say on the TomTom. It works well, it works great for bikers. If you're in need of a sat-nav for your bike, go pick one up. This thing is solid, it survived a crash for me, it survived all of summer, all of winter. I say I've put over 5,500 miles through it. I've never had an issue. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and have a good day and ride safe.